And if he wasn't addicted to smoking, then maybe Grandad wouldn't have died of lung cancer before I got to meet him. So in conclusion, I think the tax should be raised on all tobacco-related products.
Thank you for your submission, Sophie. Next up is Bong Rat. Is there a Bong Rat here?
Yo! R.I.P. Hello, Your Highnesses. I think you should make rolling papers cheaper. Thank you.
So why should rolling papers be exempt from this tax?
Because some people use papers for more than just smoking tobacco, allegedly.
Can you give us some examples of something else you might smoke?
If you're accusing me of smoking something illegal that actually shouldn't even be illegal because it's part of nature, then I think
We're not accusing you of anything.
Why is everyone staring at me?
You're making a submission?
Who said that?
That was me.
You gave me a real fright there. Look, it's just so dark. Would someone please turn on some lights?
The lights are on. You're wearing sunglasses.
What, am I having a day at the beach? You win this round. Look, all I'll say is this. I go to the dairy and I buy the papers and then I eat an entire hunger buster and I go home and I do my sword practice to some of my favourite Japanese cartoons.
OK, I'll just need to go back a bit there, Bong Rat. I missed a little part at the beginning there. So you said you go to the dairy, you buy some papers.
Hunger buster?
No, it was before the hunger buster. I go to the dairy, I buy some papers.
An entire hunger buster. Big Mac, cheeseburger, fries, chocky sundae.
What would you like me to write down?
Bad for stoners.
Noted. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope. I yield the floor. Bong Rat out.
Thank you, Bong Rat. That brings us to the next order of business, submissions for an amendment to the Marriage Act to allow people to marry anime characters. First submitter is Bong Rat.
Love, maybe you've heard of it.
Select committee. It's one of the ways to influence politicians to get them to do what you want. If you want to find out the other ways, don't do anything. Just sit there and let this video play in front of your face.
The Citizen's Handbook.
Now, you're either watching this because you want to know how Parliament works, or you're an MP who got elected and has been wandering the halls of Parliament ever since, hoping that at some point, someone might tell you what to do. Help. Either way, you want to know how to make government do what you want it to. And good news, you power-hungry son of a gun, we're here to help. First things first, before a law is a law, it's a bill. If the government proposes it, it's a government bill. But there's also these. Members' bills are put forward by MPs who aren't in government, so good luck getting that one through to the other side. And local and private bills are tiny little laws that only apply to one specific place or person. For example, you. All you have to do is bribe the right MP. The government passes laws pretty easily, but for everyone else it's not so easy. The cabinet, who are like the prefects of government, they get to choose which bills get debated and voted on. And coincidentally, they often seem to put their ones first and then conveniently run out of time for everyone else's. Okay, so say a bill has made it into the House. Now what? Well, if you're watching this because you're an MP, here's where you should really pay attention. Every bill has to get through 3 votes before it becomes a proper law that everyone has to start doing. After the first vote, but before the second vote, it goes to a select committee. So what's a select committee? Well, that's easy, I'll tell you. It's a group of MPs from lots of different political parties who try to poke holes in the bill to make sure that it actually does what it's supposed to. Experts come in and tell them how they've got it all wrong, and members of the public tell them how the law might improve or totally ruin their lives. After Select Committee and the second reading, a bill then goes in front of the Committee of the whole House for a big debate. Any last little amendments are added, and MPs read out a bunch of speeches that they probably got their underlings to write for them. And then, after all that, if the bill wins the third and final vote amongst all the MPs, it goes to the Queen's crony, the Governor-General, for a stamp of approval which makes it official, because don't forget, colonisation. So, MPs, congratulations! You've done so well. You can stop watching now? Okay. Yeah, great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And to everyone else, now that the MPs are gone, let's talk about how you can get Parliament to do what you want. This is the advice we've gotten from industry lobbyists so secretive, they're listed in the credits. The thing about Parliament is that it was made in the olden days. So, if you want to get your voice heard, you have to act like an old person. That's right. Forget how to use a computer. Start using your phone with your index finger. Consider complaining about how young people these days are so different to when you were young. Like that's somehow a surprise. If you see something going through Parliament that you love or hate, the best thing you can do is also the most old-fashioned. Look up your local MP's office address and go talk to them. It doesn't matter what party they're from, they're not going to know if you voted for them or not. Ideally, there'll be a backbencher with nothing else on their plate, and you'll be top of their list. Tell them that if they help you out, you'll get all of your friends to vote for them next election. That'll make them happy. If that doesn't work, you can call up the MP in charge of the bill and chew their ear off. If you don't know their number, just ring up the front desk at Parliament and try not to sound like a telemarketer, and you'll probably get put through. And if that doesn't work, write a letter to that MP. That's right, a letter. A form of ancient communication from the olden times. Like from a Charles Dickens book. You see, letters are much harder to ignore than emails and online petitions. MPs can't just add a filter at the post office to block letters on a certain topic, and unfortunately, they know how easy it was for you to click that button saying, "Save the puppies." If you're writing to Parliament, postage is free, so you don't need a stamp. Send a letter to the Prime Minister as well. I mean, obviously they won't read it, but someone in their office will, and as long as you don't come across like a completely unhinged conspiracy theorist, it might get passed on. Find out who's sitting on the select committee that's considering the bill, and let them know how you feel about it, with letters and phone calls. That's what rich people are doing. Well, that's what rich people are paying other people to do for them. There are also things called newspapers. Wow, so old, so fragile. That one had a ridiculous amount of dust. And these newspapers have editors who people write letters to. Be one of those people. See what happens. Something might. I don't really know. Join a group. Strength in numbers and all that. You're more likely to get listened to if you've got a whole gang with you. Look, everything Parliament does, it's doing in your name. So it's important that they listen to you when you've got concerns. Despite what journalists and comedians like me are constantly saying, MPs are just people. And most of them are nice and want to do well. Plus, they get paid obscene amounts of money. So get out there and make the world a better place by making your MP's life just a little bit harder.
Help!
That's okay, buddy. Oh, I'm lost. I know. Hey.
The citizens
Safer?
The citizens Handbook.